How do you start getting into becoming a business owner and getting into business? This is a very complicated question. There's lots of answers to it, and it's going to be very specific to you. But there was something that helped me when I was first starting off that I wanted to share. It come from a YouTube video. I haven't been able to find the original, but if I do, I will post it in the description below. But it was a concept like this. I believe it said the best way to start in business is to start a business, which seems quite obvious and quite interesting sort of concept, because everyone else would tell you, don't start a business. Go and think about it. Go to do a degree in business mastery. Go and do all these different things. But this concept was the yellow squares and red triangles. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that's how I'm going to describe it. So let's say this business, you go into a business, you want to get into business. And you're like, all right, I have this great idea. I'm going to sell green triangles. Green triangles, they're the greatest thing ever. This amazing idea. No one else is selling green triangles. So you start in the business and you start selling green triangles. And it goes okay. It doesn't go super well, but you're in business and you're selling these green triangles. And you're not finding a lot of people liking them. But because you're in business and now you're thinking about it and you're in the momentum, you discover yellow squares. And you're like, oh my god, yellow squares are way better than green triangles. And then you start selling yellow squares. And you start going and you start selling yellow squares. They start doing okay, but then you discover like blue freaking octagons or something. And you start selling them and it starts doing better and better. And because you're in the trenches now, and you're actually in business, you're learning how business works, you're learning what it's like to sell, you're learning what it's like to market, you're getting the skills behind you to actually do it because you're actually doing it physically, you're not just learning about it theoretically. And even if you're not trying to create the next big thing, really think about it like this is your education. And you're learning it, and because you're there, you're able to see trends and different things that people might not be able to see if they're going through, and be able to connect more dots that others that are looking from the outside will. So that's how I think of business. It's a continuous version of pivoting. You start in a business and you do this, and it might be because you have a great idea, or it might be out of convenience. You start doing it, you're getting into it, and then you discover something else and you start doing that, and you start doing that, and you start doing that. And that's really just how you learn and connect and get into business. Obviously, a lot of other people are going to say that you should only start a great idea when you've got a great idea and go do things, and yes, that's sort of the optimal way to do it, but a lot of times you need to have the skills in order to execute that great idea, or you F it up. You don't want to go on the date with your like dream person when this is your first date you've ever been on, because you're going to be an absolute mess. You got to have a couple trial runs before you go into it, and that's how I sort of see business: is have a couple trial runs, get into business, just try your hand at it. Don't think that you're going to become the next bloody Elon Musk or something like that, but just go into it as a learning experience to go in there and go, I'm trying to learn how to be a business person, and educate yourself doing it.